Mike, as you think back on this series, maybe what's one or two things that you wish this team could have done a little differently to get over the hump and get past these guys?
I think in those first few games, just being able to close out quarters better, especially the fourth. We really had a great opportunity in front of us. Had a lot of leads throughout the games this series, and when you give teams opportunities to stick around and make it a possession game, they have two of the best in the game at closing games. So that kind of bit us when it came down to it.
When you think about kind of this offense and some of the struggles you guys had in this series, what do you think needs to happen to improve that end of the floor, and what can you do better, to maybe contend with a team like this?
I think it'll start, training camp, off season, like watching film, what style of pace we want to play. The energy that we put in defensively, we have to put that same energy offensively. Passing, cutting, making extra plays, just being on time with stuff, and it has to become habits for us. Those small things on offense can be a big thing when it comes down to execution in big moments. So I think that'll be something we'll continue to work at and look at going through off season.
Mike, this fan base has embraced you so much and truly loves you, calling you Minnesota Mike. What does that mean to you to have the Timberwolves and the state of Minnesota love you this much and embrace you?
Truthfully, since I've been here, day one of last year from the trade deadline, everybody here has been so gracious and accepting my family and I, and it means the world to me. I could be in a lot of different places and a lot of different circumstances and situations, and they've made this feel like a second home, which makes my job easy going into work every day. Trying to be the best me I can be for our team and our situation. So truthfully grateful for them and all the support they've given me throughout this whole ordeal.
Mike, there's a saying that experience is life's greatest teacher, and obviously this group, some of your teammates are really young in this game. Did you see them pick up the magnitude of the moment as the playoff run went on, and was there anything about that kind of experience that you saw them go through encourages you about what this group can do in its future?
Yeah, I think in each series we had moments where we had individual guys, a group of guys who had to either make sacrifices or change the way they played just for the sake of our team. You look at Ant, his playmaking ability throughout the playoffs just kept improving. Cat, his ability to not be one-dimensional for us. He's spacing. He's inside out. He's sacrificing himself on defense in certain series. He's guarding Jokic, and next series he's guarding KD, and he's just having to be versatile in that aspect. Rudy, things he does for us on both ends that people don't look at, his magnitude that he, the gravity that he brings every night. Jaden, he's a guy that doesn't get any credit, for actually what he does and brings to our team on a nightly basis, and see him just continually grow as an offensive player. Everybody, you can go down a list of guys that have really shown up and allowed us to even have this opportunity in the first place. So we can take something from that, and I think those guys will be, itching to get back to this position again.
Mike, both Nikhil and Rudy were searching for things, areas of growth. Both mentioned mental toughness. How do you develop mental toughness?
Sometimes, like you said, experience is our best teacher. You have to go through it. You have to learn from your mistakes. You have to feel what we feel right now. It's something that these guys will never forget, and hopefully push and motivate them to work on themselves. Work on themselves in every moment that we get. Opportunity to be where we're at right now, and I think the guys just we all want to be better, and mental toughness is something that It's not easy to just attain and get overnight, but like I said, those lessons will help you.
Mike, is it harder to be this close and not quite get there, or is it tougher like last year when you're out early, and how do you handle it?
No, this is way tougher, because I feel like we were right there. I felt like early in the series that we had a couple games that we let slip that could have really turned this series, and we could be looking at things a lot different right now. So it's really frustrating, and but these things don't happen by chance. It's part of the journey for a lot of us, and we're meant to be here, and we have to learn from it.
You said before the season or before the playoffs started about not taking for granted that progress will just come linearly. What do you think? What is the most important thing that this team has to happen this offseason to make sure that you can build on this and that this wasn't the end of the road that way?
I think a lot of it is our mentality for this situation. We have to once again believe that this isn't our ceiling. This is steps towards our goal. Ultimate goal is to be a championship team, and we made strides. We did. We really did. We had opportunities, and the West isn't going to get easier. Next year it'll be a much tougher road, but we have now felt as a group playing against a team like Dallas what a championship level team is playing and how high a level you have to play at, the sense of urgency you have to have, and hopefully that's something that we hang on to going into the offseason to get us prepared for the long run back here.
It seemed, Mike, like all year this team's offense was kind of reliant on the defense to get it going. How do you guys make another step on that end of the court? So if you do run into a team that's hitting shots, that you can kind of go blow for them with your offense?
You got to try to find a way to improve on that. Whether that's schematically or how we play our personnel and units that we have that we run out there together. Experiment with small ball lineups or whatever it is to make us attack differently. In different cases and different teams. So we just have to, like I said, continually just grow from the experience of this and try to figure out, how we can be effective or how we can put just as much energy as we do on the defensive end and put that on the offensive end at times to match the team's aggressiveness or try to figure out how to ways to get over that hump so we're not relying on one end of the floor.
Mike, kind of along those lines offensively, I think when we zoom out and look at this season or look back at the regular season and the offense was below average, does it feel that way, or how many things need to happen to get to that level where you are a top 10, top 5 offensive team?
Yeah, there's a lot of room to improve, and I think a lot of it has to do with just us being able to make simple basketball plays as a group, not just one or two guys or three guys out there, but all five, being able to be have multiple facets to their game as far as driving, kicking, pushing the ball, making good decisions when you have the ball. I think that turnovers have been a real problem for us in the past, and tonight I don't think we did much better, but we've had a lot of games where our offense would be really good if we just got a shot up. So I think all that has some part to play in it, and something that we can all get better at.
Yo. What up? Appreciate y'all too.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank y'all for taking care of us and taking care of my brother right here. Love.
No, it's just, what are your emotions right now coming off of a disappointing end to what was a terrific season?
I just wish it didn't end like that. They just played better than us. We beat ourselves a lot of times. Yeah, I mean, I think we had a great season, like he said, Kat said. But yeah, I just wish we didn't go out like that.
I think a lot of people say when you're young and you're experiencing the first time, you got to take your lumps to learn. Does it feel like that was what was happening maybe tonight with Luka and Kyrie, more experience and been there before?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is my first time. A lot of guys' first time even being in the playoffs, but let alone the Western Conference Finals. So definitely got to take your lumps and and grow through those situations. I think hopefully in the next few years or so, we'll be in the same situation when we're giving whatever young guys the whipping on the other end. So just stick with it, keep going. It's not the last time we'll be in a situation, hopefully, and just to keep growing.
What did you learn most from this longer run that you think will help going into the summer, going into next season? What stood out about the difference of playing at this level versus what you had before?
I think how in shape you are. I know a lot of guys were tired today. And obviously our play said that as well. I mean, it's a long season. Once you get to this point, I think we play over 100 games at this point. So being in shape, having the mental to where you can get through anything is possible. I think everybody pretty much had that mindset. It was just we didn't really break through that barrier. We were all active and ready to go as far as like shape wise, I guess. Like I said, everybody was pretty much tired. You could see it, and that it showed.
Naz, reflecting on this season, what is something that surprised you about it that maybe you guys were excelled in more than you expected, and then also what is something that it felt like you needed more of to be able to win this series and keep going?
I think how well everybody gelled together. I mean, obviously on every team, especially it being our second year, but I feel like everybody on this team, like they knew each other for at least 10 years, at least. We kind of grew into a brotherhood at some points, and sometimes you'd feel that connection. I mean, not that you don't see that coming, but business of basketball, anything can happen. So it's just like, I know for me, growing up, and I used to be like to myself and stuff like that. To where now, like I kind of like embrace those guys. Those like my older brothers and stuff like that. So then to where Jaden's like my younger brother and so forth and so on. So it's like just having those relationships and being able to communicate with guys on and off the court. And then, what was your second question?
What is something that you guys needed more of to be able to win the series, keep going?
I think more brains. I think situations where, or experience, I would say, just understanding time and situation, understanding what was at stake, what to bring in those moments.
Naz, what's something that you're going to try to work on this offseason to kind of come back and get better going into that next season?
Really my all-around game. I'm trying to expand each and every way like I've done in the past. From every standpoint, shooting, dribbling, defense, definitely defense, being able to guard 1 through 5 consistently and being comfortable with it. Really just being a consistent basketball player for sure. I pretty much is gonna work on every facet of the game like I've done this far. So I think each and every year I've gotten better.
Any other questions for Naz?
Naz, this year with this team was positionally a puzzle, right? Particularly in the front court. Like sometimes you're playing the 5, sometimes you're playing the 3. What was like reflecting on that, kind of how you guys made all the bigs work together? How did that come together over the course of the season?
I think just playing off of each other was the biggest thing. Like understanding situations and being in positions. Like I know for me, like I've been in these situations before, maybe not in the NBA, but in situations before where I had to play the 3 or 4. So I kind of knew how to play off of Rudy and Kat in ways. I'm sure they're in the same predicament. So it's really just me and understanding, time situation, who I'm guarding, what play we were running, where to be, who I was guarding, things like that.
Naz, with you and Ant and Kat and Mike, you have so much offensive firepower at your disposal. What did Dallas do to you guys that made it so difficult to kind of get the shots that you wanted and be more efficient on that end?
They made us tired. They made us work. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, they were ready. I don't think we made their all-star caliber players work. I think that was huge on our end. We should have done that as players. I think they made us work 1 through 15 or whoever played.
And then when you just look back on this year with Sixth Man of the Year, beach towels, tattoos, like everything that happened for you, is this going to be a year that just sticks in your memory of
100%.
all of those experiences and the love you felt and everything?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's something that you dream about, especially like just to be in the NBA and then to have that type of love, especially from the team that you were brought in by. I mean, it's super huge, and I'm excited to go into next year. Just to show everybody how hard I worked and how hard I'm trying to bring something special to Minnesota again. I mean, it means the world, just for all the guys, people who got tattoos and, like you said, the beach towels, and then, how hard I worked to get 6 man, and that goes to all the fans. I mean, they brought it, and it was huge. Definitely needed that, and it's a big confidence boost as well. Just to, especially when I check in the game, everybody's going crazy. So that's super love, and I appreciate every last person.
Naz, you mentioned playing off of both Carl and Rudy. You and Carl are such dynamic perimeter and inside players, and then Rudy has such gravity to him, especially around the rim. Do you think that's something going into next year you guys could lean into more, the three of you sharing the floor together?
Yeah, possibly. I think there's situations where when we did do it, I think it went really well. So I don't see why not. Again, that goes into how much work I put in those situations this summer. So we're definitely going to be invested in that in this summer. So we'll see.